Hey, believers, let's talk for a minute. I've been seeing this trend this week on Facebook and such, more or less coming out of the drama associated with heightened mitigation methods to deal with COVID here in Illinois and the holiday season coming up, Thanksgiving coming up. And I've seen a lot of comments from brothers and sisters in the faith, even good friends of mine, that I'm concerned about. And that is this recent trend of judging and shaming each other based on our responses in this time, in particular to how we practice our faith, which feels strange. I want to caution my brothers and sisters in the faith I'm not going to argue to change your beliefs. I'm not going to argue to change how you are navigating these times, but rather challenge you to step back and check your own voice as you, make statements to the world around you, especially in just a broad-based public social media like Facebook. When I see Christians shaming and judging churches for not closing their doors yet, shaming and judging Christians for attending church, shaming and judging brothers and sisters in the faith for gathering with their family over the holidays, despite what the state is arguing. My frustration with this is that if you are a person of faith, claiming, in a sense, to be a representative of the faith, just by association, you are not operating by the tenets of the faith or the way we're called to live by judging and shaming others, by making self-righteous and holier-than-thou statements about how you're practicing your faith or how you are navigating these moments in your relationship with God. We are truly in unprecedented times, and I know that seems like a cliche term at this point because everybody is saying it, and it's true. No matter what you believe about the pandemic or all of it, no matter what you believe about state policies and this and that, regardless, we are in times that nobody has faced. And pretending like there's this one-size-fits-all model for how we're supposed to feel and respond and experience this is ridiculous. Our job as Christians isn't supposed to be to judge the world, but rather to meet the world with compassion, even when the world around us responds in ways that maybe we don't agree with, and absolutely and certainly respond with compassion and understanding with our brothers and sisters in the faith when they respond in ways that maybe you don't agree with. Simply said, judging each other is not doing anything but causing more hurt. In fact, I would argue that if you are one of these Christians who is shaming others for trying to practice their faith, I would argue, ironically, that the sense of privilege you probably talk about in the world, privilege being a hot topic right now, that you're opinions are coming from a place of privilege, whether you realize that or not, that you are discounting the incredible depth at which people practice their faith and need their faith. You are coming from a place of privilege, possibly overlooking the incredible mental health and self-care issues that come with essentially putting your entire life and your faith and your church practice on hold. The toll that families who are losing their support systems, people who are losing their entire support systems as everybody hides from each other. Yes, in an attempt to save lives and to stay healthy, and regardless, also not discounting the fact that people are still also losing their support systems and struggling with their mental health and burnout and a host of other things that we can't necessarily fathom. My challenge for you is this: to love each other, to be compassionate and understanding with each other, to hold your tongue and refrain from your posts if they do not build others up in a time of immense universal struggle. That if you feel like you need to distance yourself or isolate yourself, and you can do so healthily in your physical, mental, and even spiritual health, then do so. If churches out there, staff members of churches, feel as though they need to shut down their church, whether out of responsibility or to protect their own staff or congregants, then so be it. And do so because you have the right. But do not shame churches who have gone to great lengths to try to provide those services for their believers, for their flocks, if you will, in a safe, socially distanced, sanitized, and protected way. And do not shame your brothers and sisters who are finding a way to attend safely and socially distanced and masked and sanitized in order to connect with a God that they may be struggling to meet with. They may need that worship service. They may need that little bit of a break from the cabin fever that has set in significantly. They may need something, some way to connect with their God outside of their own personal abilities, because it's just not working anymore right now. It has become trying. Rather choose love. Choose to support, especially when your brothers and sisters in the faith are not irresponsibly practicing the same faith that you hold so dear. Choose love. Choose compassion. Choose patience and understanding. And instead of rattling off hurtful and judgmental opinions, maybe take a minute privately in a non-public forum to ask how they're doing, what they believe, how they're handling things, why they're attending church, why they choose to do things differently. And if you still don't agree, that's fine. Go on about your life in mutually respectful ways, knowing that at some point we will come out on the other end of this, and we will need to meet with each other again. and serve our God and serve his creation well together again. That is my challenge for you today, tonight, tomorrow, and for the months to come. As brothers and sisters in this faith, do not be a cause for division within the body, but rather, even in difference, even in disagreement of how we practice, link arms, support each other, even distanced, in love.